Do you know the story of the lost city of Atlantis and how it sunk to the bottom of the ocean? What about stories of Noah's Ark? Did a major global event happen not too long ago that wiped out civilization? In today's episode, we're going to be connecting the dots between the Tartarian theory and the Mudflood theory. We're going to be using a few maps. Maps like this one. Map that shows Africa with rivers, lakes, and green forest. And if you like this type of content, make sure you subscribe and hit the like button. Did you know the Sphinx in Egypt was discovered in the 1800s? Covered in sand, covered up, and only having the head exposed. This is what it looks like today, actually. So apparently there's this theory in Russia that Peter the Great was not the founder of St. Petersburg. He did not build it, he dug it up. And we see this all over the world. We have evidence of buildings, the same type of buildings that were mostly built in the 18th and 19th century. That's how we know these buildings were not built. They were found, buried in mud and sand. In Easter Island, we have evidence of the Easter Island head being dug up for whatever reason. And in Russia, we have clear proof of this type of event happening. And in places like Mexico, we still find these cities lost, buried in the jungle. This one particularly was buried by lava of a nearby volcano. We find windows and doorways halfway underground, and we see these buildings that look top heavy, out of proportion. And they have incredible attention to detail inside and out. And sometimes it doesn't match the exterior just proportion. I think all of this was not too long ago, maybe a couple hundred years ago. In the 1700s, we saw crazy migration into the new land, and in the 1800s, we see nearly every major city being built. Was this an effort to repopulate the land after a global disaster? 500 years ago, we had maps showing Africa with rivers and lakes. What happened? Why were these maps depicting this, and why is it dry now? Crazy thing is, most people have never heard or seen of these maps before. And I know it's a lot of taking, a lot of things at once, but I do think something major happened a couple of hundred years ago. This reminds me of the saying, as above, so below, Does civilization keep building on top of previous civilizations in this endless cycle? I want to know what you guys think about all of this, and welcome to part one. And I want to give a quick shout out to guys like Geomancy, John Levi, My Lunch Break, and Bright Insight, and a few different channels that have motivated me into creating these series. I have tons of evidence and different topics, and I'll be exposing all of that and more in future episodes. And if you like this type of content, please like and subscribe to catch the rest of the series. Peace.